What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another solo leveling Arise video. Folks, we are here doing another Overseer library to boost our powers even further. And this week we got ourselves a little bit of a difference. Of course, we got two new protagonists. The increased protagonist overload by 15%. So you know Christopher Reed is obviously going to be a big one. And the protagonist critical hit damage increased by 20%. And this week we have ourselves two specific protagonists. It's actually going to end up being Christopher Reed and, believe it or not, Mei Lin. Now, before I go into this and talk a little bit about this, I want to talk about two different things. Number one, there's rumors of a collab coming in February. This is a rumor, not a leak, a rumor. I haven't heard anything. People keep asking, Payne, have you heard anything? I have no idea, guys. So I just want to squash that real quick. I have no clue until I've actually heard about anything. You guys know I'll let you know as soon as possible. But right now, as it stands, no collab news. All I know is Sun Ki-hoon is scheduled to come out at that time. And also, real quick, just for everybody, just you guys are aware, we only got 5 more days before the content creator program for this season is over. If you are a supporter, I just sent out the brand new codes right now for you guys. So mana power extract skill scroll times 10. If you're already existing, you probably would have had this. And you also got shadow waves times 10, advanced mana crystals. If you're not supporting already, guys, hit that support button, get yourselves in. It's super easy to do, and you get yourselves free codes. Plus, don't forget, guys, the extension is probably going to happen tomorrow. So you're going to want to extend tomorrow to continue getting codes on to the next season. I want to say big shout out to anyone who supported. If you are a supporter, please join the Discord. It is linked in every single description, as well as this link, and get yourselves into the Discord. Make sure you join the giveaways. I do a $100 giveaway to every supporter, $150 to my top 100, and $200 every single season to my top number 1. So I want to say a big shout out to everybody who's been supporting, and thank you very much. Now, this is where I'm at with this, just so everyone's aware. I am currently doing Overseer's library. I still cannot do the last one. And the reason why I can't do the last one is I don't have 18 to 20 characters at the level I need to be. You guys need to focus, as well as I do, need to focus on gearing up a lot more units in order to be able to do that. The power difference between finishing the last library and this library is it's astronomical. It really is. Like, it adds up so quickly, and you're going to notice the difference every single time. So make sure, guys, if you are somebody who is planning to boost your power quickly for the next WOBL, your main focus would honestly ideally be your shadow army, of course, which you're going to do anyways, but then also this specific mode. This mode itself honestly will give you guys a boost of power like no other, in my opinion, and it's one that everybody should be focusing on, specifically revolving around getting your main, I guess, elements up, right? So right now I'm doing shared stats for all my elements just to boost my TP, but eventually we're going to get to the point where you're going to have to go into the specialization, right? And this is kind of what I'm building with this whole setup, is I'm trying my best to first off get my fire team fully up so I can go ahead and do my POS 10 for my free to play, which I think is going to take a while anyways. I'm not really worried about that too much. Voltaire is still a pretty tough hard mode, but my main focus is going to also be getting ready for the next WOBL. Now, the next WOBL, of course, is going to be a different element. I don't think it's going to be fire. I can see them doing maybe wind and dark. I'm hoping dark gets in there, or light and dark, right? One of those, like, those combinations are most likely going to be it. And I think the main thing to notice about that is that right now, dark element is really lacking a breaker. I know we're getting Igris. Igris was scheduled to be a breaker originally. They changed that apparently now, so he might be an infuser only. We'll see. Maybe he's a breaker infuser. But at the end of the day, I'm probably going to have to revamp this entire co-op section. So what I'm planning to do going forward is I may end up giving you guys a brand new version of this every single WOBL that comes out. Okay, because right now, honestly, like, there's a lot of big differences that are going on in the game, like some pretty big differences. Number one of the big ones is, of course, the fact that at the moment, as we stand, we are looking at a more defense penetration heavy meta, right? Because a lot of the things we're doing right now in terms of like the end game content is defense pen oriented. For example, Fakna is pure defense pen. Most of the guild bosses except for the Ant Queen are. A lot of people are using more defense pen for POD, and of course defense pen right now for WOBL. So everything is really defense pen oriented. So right now, as it stands, guys, the meta has shifted from crit damage quite heavily. Before, it was already a pretty big damage increase, kind of scenario, and it was a mixed bag of both, but right now it's heavily going towards like I mentioned, the new setup of defense pen. So when it comes down to that, we're gonna have to see what's going to be the new stat to look forward to for the new WOBL, and whatever the case may be, I'm gonna update that with you guys. Now, I made a video on what to focus on in terms of the numbers that you should be going for. Like I said, I'm going for my free to play. I'm going for pure power, right? So it's all my percentages. sorry, it's all my additional stats going for my hunters. But for somebody who's looking to, somebody who's already a whale, for example, and somebody who's looking to essentially just maximize on DPS and everything, you shouldn't be doing that. Stats are kind of minuscule in comparison to some of the other things that are provided. So I'll do a full pay to win version of it with the best stats, with the things you should go for, and then I'll do a free to play version, which I've technically already kind of done. So you guys can follow both if you want to. All right. So that's going to be part. So you guys can see here, I'm just kind of going through this, going through the motions, completing these, but that's the next thing to do. Next thing to do is going in and updating all of my stats to make sure that every single character up to the 18 characters has gear that are ready. So what gear should you focus on? Simple. Honestly, I've already created a full DPS gear guide for you guys. I'm going to go back and do the core one as well too as soon as I can. And I know a lot of people are asking for the core one, so that's going to be a pretty decent one. The main thing to remember about cores, except for like a couple characters, exceptions for a couple characters, most of the new cores are going to be better. So for example, all DPS are going to use cores specifically revolving around the crit rate one. So the first one will be the crit rate one. The second one will be, honestly, what old ones are fine. They won't really make that much of a difference. And the last one, depending on who you are, you're going to either want to go with like more break advantage for breakers, for example, or if you want to do something like for DPS, you continue using the current ones, which is the mana consumption one, right? So less mana consumption, the purple ones essentially. So it's really depending on what you want to do and who you want to use, but we'll do a full core one for you at the end of this. So let me finish this up here, guys. I'm just doing this on auto right now. Gonna complete this, and then we're gonna show you guys my points, and we'll show you guys the power increase that we get overall. And I honestly, it's a pretty big, significant difference. And remember, if you do use all your points now, in the back of your mind, just keep in mind that we are going to be having the ability to reset, but every reset you do is going to cost you guys quite a bit, right? And what I mean by quite a bit is we're talking about 2,000 essence stones to reset this entire point system. So let me get through this. I'm going to finish it up on auto real quick because it's super easy on this one on free to play. And then we're going to jump in and do some points and show you guys the power difference in terms of where we are right now on free to play. I'll be right back. All right, folks. So we have completed the actual mode. So this is the secondary mode. Remember, not the I think it's Forsaken one or whatever it's called, like Forbidden. I think it's Forbidden actually. So we are now completed. This is the second version. Again, there's a story report. You guys can check it, and you guys can see everything's done. And the cool thing about this is the crazy amount of rewards you get. Not only do you get a crap load of gold, not only do you get a crap load of these hunter training books, you're also getting yourself the lower mana tier crystals, which is super important, of course, for crafting and doing other things related to shadow stuff. So you guys can see reward details are in fact really, really good when you can get the furthest. Look at this. This is way more. So it's absolutely worthwhile jumping into this and trying to finish 9, 10, 11, and 12. But again, you need to get yourself a lot more characters. Like if I were to do this, for example, start story, and I want to go to the forbidden section, right? We did ancient. If you look here, it's going to require you to have 18 to 20 hunters at that level. Now, I can go in and probably make, I'd say a good 12 of these right now at that the power scale at 341000, but the rest of them just don't are lacking gear, right? Or cores as well too. So this is why it's important. Forbidden Library is kind of like almost end game for a lot of players because you are forced to kind of go in and use a lot of your resources to build up characters. Whether they're going to be usable or not is irrelevant. Just getting the power level to that point is what really makes the big difference. So make sure, guys, you are working it now. Once you get the keys or the keys, so the library, right? The books, you go into here, and this is where you kind of have to focus on what you want to do. You guys can see for me personally, I did additional attack, additional HP. So this is all for fire. You know, I need to get the rest of them up. So light's my next big one. And you can tell the power increase is going to go up based on your BT. So don't necessarily focus on BT. I actually go down here and look at these ones. These ones also matter a lot because you can check all the stats of your characters and how much they increase through this right here by the number. So I know a lot of people last time were like, Payne, well, it's the reason why I went up is because of this. Totally understand it. It makes total sense why that went up. But for right now, the main thing to do is I want to focus on getting all my units, main stats up that matter, right? So right now, fire is the main focus for me. So to me, it makes the most amount of sense to push fire as much as possible. Like for example, this will help Fern. Fern is what? She is let me go double check. I think she's a striker, right? Obviously. So she's a striker. You can tell right here that she has the little icon right there. That's the striker icon. So if I go back here, right, and I'm looking to boost my Fern's DPS, well, you want to take a look at what's available here. So elemental weakness, use basic attack increase, all that stuff, right? That's going to matter the most here. So if I want to boost her up overall, like if I want to boost her power in terms of how she performs, and that's going to convert over to like WOBL, it's going to convert over to POD, and it's going to convert over to obviously guild boss, right? So all these things are going to matter. This is what you want to focus on. This is strictly for TP purposes. This is going to be more for like overall damage. So let's just do overall damage. I'm going to go ahead and do this increase to 3. Her basic skills are super important for her. You guys can see everybody there got more power as well too. Obviously that's a striker. And then critical hit damage, elemental weakness. We'll do elemental weakness next. Right there, that's going to boost everybody again. Right there, people's power just went up. And then here you can focus as well on some of these other things, right? Increases team members' critical hit damage when an enemy is in overload. That's pretty important. Increases elemental accumulation effects. That's pretty important. Elemental weakness defense, and increases the team members' overload damage. So right now, the main thing I'd say is build up around this as well a little bit. If you have Christopher Reed, build this up, because that's going to boost not only his power, but it's also going to help the rest of your team gain more power as well through the critical hit damage. So instead of going crit damage here, I'm going to go crit damage here. And then we're going to also do a little bit of accumulation in terms of how fast I get this. Right, so we're going to put 1 into that right there. That'll help accumulate a little bit quicker. It's only 1 to, I think it's 3% max. And then increase team members' overall overload damage. This is the big one. So that's going to get a lot of love right there, and that's going to boost not only his power, but also the amount of damage your actual team's going to do. So this is kind of where I put my focus on right now, is because I'm trying to get my fire team to be like crazy good, especially because I kind of have a really good fire team now on my free-to-play account, and that's something I didn't have before. So now the next goal, guys, is to in fact boost up everybody's power to the next level and be able to go through this. Remember, you can do the first one, second one, and then do the third one if you have to in sequential order to get all the rewards. But if you do the second one, all your first rewards are given. You just got to focus on the third one next. And that's where my focus is going to be going forward. As well, I got to finish some WOBL, do some Edge of Illusion stuff. Obviously, right, I haven't done this week. And then get some of these rewards over here as well too. They're not the greatest rewards. Honestly, the clear rewards are nice, but the co-op rewards are not the greatest. So you can do the solo if you want to, but you really focus, guys, on getting your instances done, getting yourself some gear, and getting ready to push your units to a higher level in terms of what they're available to have. And this is going to require a lot of resources. So make sure you are farming as much as you can and crafting. And this is going to serve you at the end more than anything else, especially getting that forbidden library up to the max. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment, subscribe, notifications on. Let me know what you guys think, what you guys are focusing on right now in terms of elements and where your power is at. I'll show you mine real quick, actually, just so we're on the same page in terms of where power is at. One second, let me just form this team. In terms of power right now, my free to play, here's my battle tier, 3385. So I mean, we're almost at 84, 85. So we're gonna get there over time. It does take some effort, obviously, right? So keep that in mind. All right, folks, again, thank you so much for watching. Much love. See you guys in the next video. Take care.